tensions that are prevailing between the Israel and the Hezbollah. Now, amid the escalating tensions, viewers, between Israel and Lebanon, the United States has called for 21-day ceasefire on the Israel-Lebanon border. The United States has called for the ceasefire to prevent an escalation of war and give diplomacy a change there and even in Gaza. All right, viewers. Now joining me at this point of time is my colleague Brian. Brian, very good morning to you. And if you can hear me clearly, what exactly is happening as the tensions escalate between the Israel and Hezbollah, and of course in Lebanon becoming at this point of time the flashpoint of exactly the crisis, where Israeli Defense Forces have confirmed the death of the Hezbollah commander in the Israeli airstrike as well.
In a major setback for Hezbollah now, the IDF has confirmed the elimination of Hussein Srour, who is the commander of the group's aerial command, through a precise airstrike that happened in Beirut. Now, even the IDF definitely announced the airstrike via post on X, stating that eliminated the commander of Hezbollah's aerial command, Hussein Srour, in a precise IF strike in Beirut. And even according to the IDF also, Srour had orchestrated multiple aerial terrorist operations targeting Israeli civilians. And even in recent years also, Srour has led Hezbollah's UAV development project in South Lebanon, establishing a UAV production and intelligence facilities close to civilian infrastructure in Beirut and southern Lebanon as well. And amid growing these tensions, like you asked also, Simran, between both Israel and Lebanon, now yes, definitely, like you said also, the US has called for a 21-day ceasefire along the Israel-Lebanon border to prevent the situation from escalating and to allow diplomacy to take root, both in Lebanon and Gaza as well. And supporting this initiative also are US Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin III, Defense Secretary John Healey, and even Australian Defense Minister Richard Marles, who discussed the proposal during the AUKUS Defense Ministerial meeting in London, according to a Pentagon press release that we have. And even to the fact, Austin has also said that the situation in Lebanon and North Israel is deeply concerning, and even Lebanese Hezbollah, which is an Iranian-backed terrorist group, initiated unprovoked rocket attacks on Israel following the October 7th Hamas assault. He goes on to say that even Hezbollah's attack have not ceased. Like any nation, Israel has the right to defend itself, but nearly a year later, many Israeli and Lebanese civilians are still displaced, and the threat are on a full scale. And despite the rising hostilities also, Austin emphasized that diplomacy remains a viable path, and only a diplomatic solution can ensure that displaced civilians on both sides can safely return home. He even said about that, and he even further called for a 21-day ceasefire, saying this pause will provide necessary time for diplomacy to secure a lasting arrangement, allowing both Israeli and Lebanese civilians to return home, and even facilitating a ceasefire in Gaza to bring all the hostages back. Simran.
In fact, very rightly said, Brian. In fact, what we are understanding and learning at this point of time, that the United States has called for a 21-day ceasefire on the Israel-Lebanon border, and the United States has called for the ceasefire to prevent an escalation of the war and give diplomacy a change there in Gaza. But what remains to be understood is that, Middle East crisis has threatened Lebanon's very existence, and which also the foreign ministers has told the UN, as it has happened at this point of time, the developments which are happening even in the conflicted zone are being monitored very closely. And what we can understand, that Lebanon's Minister for Foreign Affairs, Abdullah Balub, has also said that the country is enduring a crisis that threatens its very existence. And he was speaking at the General Assembly of the UN, where he has said that his government has welcomed yesterday's ceasefire plan, which has been raised by the US and France, and demanded that it be implemented. Please share more details, Brian, as far as the United Nations Security Council meeting that happened yesterday, where Lebanon's Prime Minister Najib Mikati also accused Israel of violating his country's sovereignty.
Well, definitely, you talk about the Prime Minister and even to the fact that even, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas also has strongly, criticized the US for its unwavering support for Israel's military campaign in Gaza during his even address to the United Nations. And even, both the leaders have urged the global community to halt arms also supplies to Israel, holding Washington also now accountable for shielding Israel for international call for a ceasefire also despite the escalating death toll that has increased in Gaza. And even they also rather outlined their vision also for Gaza post-conflict, also for a full, calling for a full Israeli withdrawal and advocating for the authorities to govern the territory as part of a, future peaceful state. And also they reiterated their call for a two-state solution and proposed an international peace conference under the UN auspices within a year. Simran.
All right, Brian, I request you to kindly stay on with us for sharing more details. Now, viewers, amid rising tensions between Israel and the Lebanon, in a major setback for Hezbollah, the Israeli Defense Forces have confirmed the death of the Mohammed Hussein Srour, the commander of the group's aerial command, in a precision airstrike on Beirut. Furthermore, the IDF has stated that the Srour was responsible for advancing numerous aerial terrorist attacks targeting Israeli civilians. The airstrike followed intense cross-border clashes between Hezbollah and Israel, with the group launching approximately 300 rockets at northern Israeli sites, including Haifa, Safed, and Nazareth. Israeli air raid sirens were triggered across the Galilee region. Now, Brian, as we get more details and want to know the latest, the Israeli Defense Forces have also confirmed the death of two more commanders, and Hezbollah commander in fact has been killed in the Israeli airstrike. How exactly this is going to be very critical to view in the hours to come as we learn more details coming from the crisis point even in Lebanon.
Well, Simran, like I said, even it's a major setback for Hezbollah, where even the IDF has confirmed the elimination of Mohammed Hussein Srour, who has been the commander of the group's aerial command through this very precise airstrike that happened in Beirut. Now, even yes, definitely the IDF has confirmed on post X that Srour directed and advanced numerous aerial attacks aimed at Israeli civilians, particularly during the Iron Swords War, where he employed UAVs and explosives against both civilians and IDF soldiers. And even in recent years, Srour led Hezbollah's UAV development project in southern Lebanon, establishing UAV production and even intelligence facilities close to civilian infrastructure in Beirut and southern Lebanon. And even his responsibilities also extended to commanding the surface-to-air missile unit and the Aziz unit of Hezbollah's elite Radwan force. Furthermore, he also acted as Hezbollah's envoy to Yemen, working closely with the Houthi regimes and aerial command. And amid growing tensions both between Israel and Lebanon, the US has even called for a 21-day halt. But yes, definitely, the IDF has definitely confirmed that yes, they have eliminated the commander of Hezbollah's aerial command, Mohammed Hussein Srour, in a precise IEF strike that happened in Beirut.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.